Hello everyone, welcome in this new episode video of me recording myself and seeing how far I can go with my thoughts, with my ideas, with my visions. I wanted to go a little bit deeper upon what I did yesterday. Yesterday I had an event here in Belgium of an self-development center in a certain way. Like they were giving courses in different levels of self-development. This also included like a little bit of NLP, a little bit of family setups, a little bit of Tantra was also there, the man's work, the women's work, feminine work, I don't know how to call it. And the more and more that I started thinking about this, the more and more that I started noticing of me needing to speak out or me needing to dive into that world a little bit better, because I believe that I can give massive value comparison to, at least for those who are searching their path. And it's a very interesting one because it's in locations like these, similar similar people who are searching for this are in need for more service in a certain way. So especially it's not only thinking about that idea of development, but actually like doing. Okay, let's actually have that set up. Let's actually have a session. I don't know, sometimes it feels like it's hard to explain the power that it needs to get into that next state. And especially in that world of, for men, many of us are silently suffering. We're not really speaking up, but we're not actually experiencing happiness or just a joyful life in general. And yesterday someone commented about the smile that I have with the laughter that I give, including the smiles in my eyes or something like that. And it's a very interesting compliment that she's kind of given me. Like, it's a great compliment, but I notice myself for not actually receiving it because I find it difficult to accept that part. And yeah, it's been an interesting journey all in all. And now the biggest challenge is to share this with as many people as possible to really get into that next level of state. And this is also why I'm like recording myself, because partially, like, it's so funny. Partially we have the tendency to be productive or to plan an event and then give that event and then plan as many events as possible in a certain way. Or well, and it's kind of true, as in productivity is a big one. So exponentialize your impact. But exponentializing your impact also works with recording yourself, with sharing that value of that thing that you have to say. Like, what if you have an audience of 1,000 or even one? What if someone truly listens to you as a person? What would you say? Would you say that you're angry, that you're fearful, that you're afraid? What would you say if you have that full attention of that one person? And that is an amazing power to have. The option to have, let me say it differently, it's an amazing option to have that state. And it's also you've got stuff to say and you're kind of saying that to yourself. And based on you saying that to yourself, you're improving the level of depth of your thinking. Like I noticed that for myself, comparison to that journey that I had a couple of maybe a year ago when I kind of started with video recording myself, as in the level of depth was still like it wasn't really there, and I'm still growing exponentially. It's massively, but I'm doing that because I'm test casing my. You and I were like live right now, as in this just doing this and free flowing and just being in that state of it's okay, or in connection. And like I find it very difficult. Let me do it like this. Like I find it very difficult to organize my basics. My basics of taking care of myself, because it's not something that I've learned in my raising, basically. Like taking care of myself physically, mentally, financially, um, organizational wise, or like go exercise once a week, or go have proper meals, or get off of sugar, stuff like that. And I've been kind of addicted to that idea of dopamine, as in I want more dopamine, and that led me into addictions, basically. And I still notice it now that I'm slowly working through my addictions. Um, that it's kind of like a trauma response. It's not really an addiction, but it's a trauma response. I'm using the substance as a trauma response based on the stuff that I've experienced. Yeah. Um, but the more and more that I'm leaning into like processing my addictions, the one that we often call as addictions. So drugs, sex, sugar, could be exercise as well. That could be an addiction as well. I had that a little bit, but and it's that what I notice now is more and more my addiction for dopamine. Like for me, reading more books and processing more data is a certain way a dopamine addiction. And it is withholding me from looking at that stuff that I'm not skilled on just yet. And for me, it's like really managing the basics. It's like really tuning into just the simple things. Because quite often we find it, or at least that's what I experienced, we find it difficult to admit that we have trouble with those basic layers, those taking care of ourselves in the basic things, which leads us into addiction, and that could be escaping reality on gaming or on Netflix or on reading science fiction books or like learning more, even if it's within the self-development part. It is kind of addiction. It is a dopamine level that has been a very interesting one. So it's quite nice to tune into yourself, as in, hey, what's going on? Am I running away from? So that includes like, I know this recording is also like partially a running away of not needing to look at certain levels or certain things. And I often create new layers of new projects before tuning into myself. And now I'm doing the Lifebook course together with Michael. It has been really amazing so far already, or barely started. And it's the state of me really looking at the basics of me, like what's going on with me. And yeah, that's a very big one that I'm leaning into. So, kind of want to close it off with that one. Thank you very much. And I see you soon. Bye-bye.